A walk through UC Berkeley. Hello. Today I want to share my visit to the University of California, Berkeley, often just called Berkeley. This is one of the most famous public universities in the world. It is in the city of Berkeley, just across the bay from San Francisco. First feeling, big and full of energy. When you first arrive, you feel the energy. The campus is very big and built on a hill. There are students everywhere, talking, studying, and walking fast to their classes. It feels like a very busy and important place. The tall tower, Sather Tower, the Campanile. The first thing you will see is Sather Tower. It is the most famous landmark. People also call it the Campanile, which is an Italian word for a bell tower. It is a very tall white clock tower. It stands in the middle of the campus and you can see it from far away. You can even take an elevator to the top. From there, the view is amazing. You can see the whole campus, the city of Berkeley, and even the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. The famous entrance, Sather Gate. Next, I walk through Sather Gate. This is a beautiful old gate with fancy designs. It is the most famous entrance to the university. It is a very popular place for students to take pictures. When you walk through it, you feel like you are entering a special place. The heart of the campus, Sproul Plaza. Sather Gate leads you to Sproul Plaza, Plaza. This is the heart of the campus. It is a very large, open area where students hang out. This plaza is famous for history. In the 1960s, it was the center of the free speech movement. This was a time when students spoke up to ask for their right to talk about political ideas on campus. Today, you can still see many groups sharing their ideas here. It feels very active and free. A place for nature, Strawberry Creek. One of my favorite parts was the nature. Berkeley is not just buildings, it is also very green. There are huge old trees everywhere. A small natural river called Strawberry Creek runs right through the campus. You can hear the water flowing. It is very peaceful. Many students sit by the creek to read or relax. It's like a small forest inside the university. Final thoughts. My visit to Berkeley was exciting. It is a place that feels both very smart and very alive. You can feel the important history, but you can also see the new ideas. It is a beautiful campus with a lot of energy.
Environmental activism that began in the 1970s and the 1980s, in which ordinary working class people came together to use local, state, and even sometimes federal laws to deal with in communities near IBM, Teledyne, Intel, and Raytheon facilities. One county-level study found that 82% of these firms had hazardous chemicals in the ground beneath their plants. Starting in the 1980s, many of these areas became designated as Superfund sites. Passage of time, city officials had no way of knowing where exactly the farmers had dug them. They didn't know where these wells were. These wells then served as highways for these chemicals like TCA, TCE to get into the groundwater. Fabrication sites were also located on land and in communities which had less power. Workplace protections were weak for two reasons. First, because workplace health effects weren't researched or attended to as much at the time, and second, because regulation didn't come until decades later. So we can draw some generalizable lessons from this history. First, this world is still with us. Every bit of the datified world still depends on microelectronics.